Final hour of trade, the sell-off is continuing. Here we go. Yeah, pretty red right across the board. 1.5% for the S&P, the Dow about 1% as well. Same story for the NASDAQ. Leading the way, 2.25%. I mean, optimism leading to higher interest rates makes the market go down, I guess, is the story of the day. Even at the bottom here, you can see pretty ugly for cryptos once again, 3.8% for Ethereum, guys, leading the way. But there are individual stocks actually making all-time highs. I'm speaking of DATS.
That's not a stock.
It's not?
That's a game. That's a game, those stocks, man. Yeah, the market, Brendan said we're continuing the downside, but we're actually doing quite opposite. We're starting to take out some of these ranges that we're doing right now. We sort of broke out back to the upside right now. So let's see if we can not get back to positive, but let's see if we can keep the momentum here over the next little while. My biggest position on right now is Apple, and it's to the short side. We're going to give it to 143 here. If it breaks it, it breaks it. But it's not going to look good on the 20-minute. But 143 here. We've topped out a couple times. We'll see if it can make it. Looks like it's taking out right now 143. So we've averaged into this Apple short, trying to believe that this market wants to go down, but I don't know if it does. So small positions early. We've taken a nice position right now. We'll see if it's going to hold this 143. Apple will be out of that one if and when it does not hold the 143. But I hope Brendan's right. I hope this market sell-off continues.
Well, I'm kind of hoping not, because I got some longs, all the bottom picks from earlier on in the session. One that got filled, we had the bid in on CCL from basically the entire morning. Finally got to fill here at 26.11, and then again at 26.13, average price of 12. That's back to VWAP. We've already taken some profit off on that one. We also had that NEO trade. Remember, we're looking for that bottom on NEO. We tried it once off 35.5. We said we like that 35, but it's got to be a separate trade. When it broke, we stopped out when 35.50 broke. We got back in several times here in front of that 35. We even let it break by 5 or 10 cents. That we reloaded as well before we came back on here just after 2 o'clock. That's trying to get back up into VWAP, so that long is also in there. CCL, NEO, and Oxy. This is the one that's doing the best. Of course, Energy's kind of been marching to the beat of its own drum, but we had that one since the morning show as well. We reloaded in front of that 75. It held to 25.50. Got this one, and this one's a little deeper. We're about 70 cents in the money on this position. And I'm holding on, not necessarily till the cows come home, but we'll see. I want to hang on to these longs. Looks like we're finally trying to break back up in the market, but I do have one short, and that's going to be ChargePoint. A triple top here at 21.40. Go back to quad witching, and this was a top, 21.43 that same day. Kind of hard to see. There you go, 21.43. I'm using that as my out. If we break through that high from the 17th, I'm all out of this ChargePoint short. Brendo?
I mentioned a few things making new highs, in fact, all-time highs. Here's another one. GoGo, we talked about this morning, guys, updating their current year forecast, and also next year as well, going to be higher than expected. So GoGo doesn't care about a sell-off today.
Clearly not.
SPY is a poor man's ES. Well, SPY is basically the ES. So if you have a better fee structure on futures, then you should trade futures. If you have a better fee structure or free trading at all, I know some accounts will give you free trading on futures, which is great. And the other benefit of trading an actual futures contract, of course, is leverage and margin, and however your broker wants to word that or how they offer it out. Just on this one, see, I can't really even look in on this Apple trade. It just went back down to positive or flat for us. Just went down to 142.50 and bounced. So we're gonna watch out there on that. See, just dipped down there. Dipped down there. 148.30 there. Held. So we'll see. We are at this high spot right now. We don't mind that short at all. What we still have on right now, and Weed Batman in the building one more time. We did not reload this thing. We're waiting for the high. Oh, that's not Weed Batman. This is, yeah, there. That's me smoking. There's Weed Batman. But yeah, we're smoking the profits right now on this name. Only one time in, and we're going to hold this. We still are holding this. So we'll wait to see where ACB goes now. But hey, man, we're still holding some of this. It touched 7. That was a good trade there. We'll wait to see if we get 7 again on this name. And we talked about it early. You know, when they start moving around on earnings, that's when you want to look at them. And then unlike Tilray, things like that moving in the opposite direction, still down 4% Tilray is here, a little bit off the bottom, but yeah, we're going to watch ACB and ACB only. We did buy some Nike in today. We posted that up. So that's for my long-term account. We bought some Nike right now on this move down. Getting ready to buy more Palantir at some point. Not right now. I don't think it's a horrible idea also, even just buy the NASDAQ. I mean, that way you don't have to worry about anything. This CEI short was fantastic. We're getting close to that short again. We did the trade of the day, and it's funny because I said you got to take the long if it breaks 320. Broke 320, I don't have the long. So that's going to be the trade of the day. CEI, Camber, we are short. Reverse long right there, flattened out this trade. Hit the long all the way to the top, then hit the short all the way to the bottom. And then that was a stop order that we had to get out of there. So we did that. But yeah, nicely done here on Camber today. Still trying to make some moves, man. 650 million shares, not too bad. Apple were short 51s. It's at 59. So hopefully we can come back in here. And look, I don't like the market closing on the lows today. If they did, that'd be huge for this position. But realistically, just back a little bit. We'll start getting out of some Apple. The market's strong here in the afternoon. Let's just see where we go.
Yeah, I think just speaking of the NASDAQ, it needs to get like 100 points up. You feel a little bit better about this. But looking at the ES as well, it's both these are trying to make that bounce. And this is sort of that put up or shut up, right? You know, you have less than an hour in the session, and that's a good test on these down days. Is there buying and relief that comes into it in the afternoon? Obviously, I made that bet since lunchtime on some stocks that had levels, and that's the key thing. Did any of the stocks that I bought and picked, did I have a level to work off of? And that's what matters. That's the thing about the ChargePoint. Someone asked, do I think ChargePoint's breaking the high? In all honesty, coin flip, I'd say. And I'm not even sure it's 50-50. I might even give it 60-40 at best that it could break out of that top. But when you think about the structure of the trade, risk to reward, if it even gets halfway to VWAP, then I don't have to worry about the fact that even if I was on a coin flip 50-50 or 60-40 against me, that's a winning trade as long as you stop out at that high. And that's the key thing about having a stop. You've got to make sure you do that. I also think you have to make sure you take profit because you never want to look a gift horse in the mouth, and that's one thing I am going to concern myself with, and that's why we'll do that. You know what, I'm going to hit this key because we're going to have a little bit of fun today. We need some music in our lives today. Why? The market's down over 2% in the NASDAQ. Let's have a little bit of fun. Volume spike just there on NEO just got me filled in front of 35.50. So we were along this one all morning.
Yep.
But the good thing about it is I had two different trades I wanted to make. Off 35.50, we tried that for the bounce a couple of times. That did not work out. And then we waited for that 35 level to come in, right? So instead of just averaging into 35, we just sat out that 50-cent move and then started getting the longs in that 35 range. So I'm still holding on to NEO. I want some on the north side. I mean, if we can start to break out, we get to 14.9 or less than 2% on the NASDAQ, I think we break VWAP on NEO. I think we can get back up close to this 36 level, if not like 35.80s, 35.90s. So let's see how strong this market can be in the next 50 minutes or so. Of course, that could mean a ChargePoint blows out the top, but hey, I got 3 longs, 1 short. That short is off of a level that I think makes sense because it's got a top from a couple of weeks ago and a current day high. So let's see if we can't work these ones and find some more winners for you. I feel like there will be a trade on that DATS. I just can't bring myself to short this thing.
Oh yeah, that's what I want to talk about. I did actually want to talk about DATS quickly. I was going to talk about Alibaba, so we'll do that when we get back because Alibaba, one of those names that Brendan mentioned, some names up today, and we said DATS, and I didn't mean to say that DATS wasn't a real stock. It's just, it obviously is, and there's been a lot of money being made on it, and congratulations to anybody that's done that, but it's just breaking all these different levels, and that's the one thing I wanted to show you guys here. You know, this is so key, and I mean, we missed it. I missed it today, and we all did. I don't think any of us have a trade on DATS right now, but look at this. So it's this kind of play right here. 1250, 1250, 1250 right here. Bounce, bounce, bounce. And then today, look what happens when you break that 1250 mark right here. So we broke that 1250, and it's nothing but upside right here on DATS. So there is lots of potential here on this name. You just got to wait. Watch out. Wait for that key moment, man. Wait for these levels to break, and then you can get this, especially when you're on volume here. Today, lots of volume on DATS. So yeah, you're definitely being rewarded to the upside here on some of these breaks. So DATS continuing to make moves to the upside. A great name to trade today, and hot fire there on some of those level breaks. What's up, Brendo?
Hyzen, guys, if you remember way back this morning, we were talking about this HYZN, Hyzen Motors. There's a short seller report on this one today. They came out, responded to that short seller report with the typical, we don't do anything wrong. We think this is very, very bad, and they shouldn't be talking poorly about us, all that kind of language. But day lows right now on HYZN, guys.
So I was gonna slap myself in the face over it, but I'll just drop this because if you remember from the morning show, if you were tuning in, I did have a DATS short off of that 1250 level. I talked about like that 3-day high and then shorting it off of 1250. It was a great one. We were able to get over $1 on a winner on it in the last of the third. But I had said 1250 break is still in play. When the market dripped down past 11. I canceled my breakout, and that's a rule that I have, by the way, and I meant to put it back in, but there's a good reason why I would cancel that breakout 1250 stop buy when it's trading at $11. It breaks that level. I never want to have a stop trigger that's more than 10% away from the stop, because if it went up in one shot, you might be getting into a halt situation, like a stop order is left in when a stock just halted, or the situation where you get the trigger and then the stock halts. I want to make sure I'm controlling it, but it's not a great excuse, because I could have just put it back in, had the entire afternoon to do so. But you have to pay attention to that. If you're ever shorting off a big level like that in the morning, and it finds a hard bottom and gives you consolidation, and then the volume picks up. Like the breakout was at 1170 here, but 1250 was that 3-day level, multi-day level. That's what we love. We love these multi-day levels. They can be fantastic for you. It's starting to get to that point on CCL where I don't know how many times I can watch it get up to this 2650 area, which is just barely above break even on the day, and then start to reverse. So this is one time in the morning, got to VWAP. Now it's tested it twice. So if this doesn't keep moving through this level and starts to pull back, I might cover CCL, hang on to the NEO trade, hang on to the Oxy trade, but get out of CCL just so I'm not sitting in all three of these longs. I got to make sure that we bank these profits. If the market turns here and starts heading back to those lows, it would be a shame to not at least bank most of these profits on the bottom picks, because at the end of the day, you only get paid when you cover the position. That's just the harsh reality.
Yep, exactly. Look at GoGo here. GoGo Inc. just all the way to the upside there. I mean, forget about VWAP there. I mean, if you hit that, then that's amazing, all the way up. But GoGo just continues to go upside now. I mean, it's just like 20-minute chart, not going to give us anything there. So unlike DATS, there's not much here. Obviously a break of 16. We are right at this spot right now. So if you're looking to go short, it can't be blamed right now. This is back to February highs right here on Go. So GoGo, I should say. Not a bad opportunity to maybe go short now. I don't even know if we have shortable shares on this name, but GoGo right in the spot right now. 17, looking at this 1725 area right now to possibly take a short in GoGo. You're right back to these levels here of February. So big move upside and running right into itself upside now. So you can watch out for this one. I think we'll take a short, give it about 20 or 30 pennies on GoGo, but straight to the upside, man. Standing in front of this one may be a mistake, but there goes GoGo right upside.
So strong, that name. And speaking of strength, I can tell you ChargePoint is 1 cent away from that Friday high at 43. It has to break it for me to get out, and I'll get stopped out on that one. It probably doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense to go from one super strong stock to think about shorting another, but $15 feels like it's in spitting distance here. Well, it doesn't feel like. $15 is within spitting distance of DATS as it just chewed through 1450. And it's hard to, at this point, for me to structure a long trade into an obvious level like a 15 even. The other part about that 15 and why sometimes you don't have a level historically, you go for a round number. The other part of that 15 is, well, what was that top? 1250, breakout 1250. That's a nice round 20% move right up to that 15 area. So that's why I would look for that level. If we get 15s, I'd go short on DATS. I just don't know how to structure a long trade here, because if I don't have an out, then I don't like getting into the long. And if you just went long here, where am I stopping out? Am I giving it all the way back to 1380? That's 60 cents. That's essentially 1-to-1 to 15, and you're buying at the highs. Don't really like that too much. I think if it were to dip down and give you something in like the 1350 range or even deeper down to 13, those could be two levels on a dip where you just try to snatch it up. We'll see if that happens. I can tell you, and this is why we say over and over again, when in doubt, zoom out. Because if you just sat there and said, okay, ChargePoint, 2140 is the high of the day, let's just get out when it breaks that 2140 level. Well, what could have happened to you is you're stopped out and it went to 42.5. 42.5 is the high. I can quickly go to my 15-minute and just remind everybody that this was on witching day. This is 43 was that high. So it goes right into that level and turns around. Does that mean this trade is going to work? No, not at all. But at least I'm still in it when it hasn't violated that previous top. So we're going to hang on to it. I have my bids already sitting in front of 21.15 as well. So if it heads to the downside, I will get captured in there. I put a trailing stop on CCL at 26.40, and this is just meant to lock in those profits like I mentioned before. If we break this level here down below VWAP, I'll just get out. I intend on holding NEO. That's a 35 long. That's holding about 40 cents in the money. Market is trying to stay positive, but it's not enough for it to stay 2.25 on the NASDAQ to the downside. It's got to be less than 2% when we close the end of the day. That's at least a decent sign there. Brendan?
Some of the vaccine names starting to roll back over here. BNTX, BioNTech leading the way. Just broke that last support there, 280.5. The FDA saying authorization for the vaccine for children, so 5 to 11-year-olds is what they're working on now, may take until November. So a little spike there in BioNTech.
Trade list right now. Yeah, we're just talking about, we did have, so I am short GoGo there. I wanted to make sure that I was short because I refreshed, I didn't see it, but I am now short GoGo. So here we go. We took that to the short side now. We'll see, we just captured a little bit of profit there, 20 pennies or so. We'll wait 14s out, sorry, 99s, 15 pennies. And then now we'll wait to see, or it was probably evens. Now we'll wait to see on the downside. It was a little bit flustered there because it wasn't showing up, but we do have that position. So, okay. And then what we were going to do with it was really just give it back to 1750. I mean, here's 1725. I want to take another short if it comes up here, and then we'll give it to 1725. Again, you know, just looking back here, it's not going to be a huge trade. I mean, unless it comes all the way back in, that'd be great. But we'll try to lose about, well, we don't try. We will lose 30 cents if it does come back to the upside there. But just looking back, that's 1725 right there back in February. So for me, hey, let's stand in front of this train right now and go short on GoGo. So that's what we do right there at 15s or 14s and out there at O's. So a quick 15-cent win. And now we'll wait to see where it goes from here. ACB, maybe we are getting a little bit, I don't know. You know, let's still GoGo chart. Maybe ACB near 7, you know, was something that we may not see again. So let's see where ACB goes. I don't expect this one to move a hell of a lot. So we're okay there. Really my big position now, first of all, CEI is starting to come back in. We can have a quick look at that as well. My big position obviously is Apple, which we've averaged in on now. And we're just going to hope that that one can come back to the downside. Just taking some rate here ahead of, I don't know, man, ahead of this 143. I hope it comes in. Our average price is 55. We're out of the money 20 cents here. So nothing to worry about on that side of things. But hey, we're always trying to win. So let's see if Apple can make it back to the downside. Our out's going to be 143. So it'll be 45 cents worth of risk. Well worth it on Apple, considering the fact that I believe we closed near the lows today. So not near the lows, sorry, not near the lows of the market, but I think we've just possibly made a top there on the NASDAQ. So I'm expecting us to close lower than where we are now. Otherwise, I'd be out of said Apple shares. So let's see where we go on this one, but I'm looking at Apple to go down, which means the market has to go down. And it looks like I might be wrong on that one, but GoGo retracing back to 17 right now.
I mean, the market's slowing up in this range. That's what I didn't mean like the market was reversing, but the market's certainly slowing up, and it looked like we were trying to push a little bit higher, and you're seeing it roll over a bit. I saw Sterling had a question about AMD, holding long, 104.50, don't really need or want to sell it. On a swing, I mean, long-term, fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Wow, that daily chart on AMD has a crazy wick in it.
I know, it's stupid. You can't do it.
I can do this. So, I mean, long-term, that's absolutely fine. You're in front of that 100. Not a bad place to start entering into it. Like, maybe you can wait, and that's not the worst idea in the world. But on a short-term play, I don't love it. Like, I don't think there's any reason after today's move, why you'd want to hold it up. If you're doing a swing, I mean, you can always give it to that previous high, like just below that 100 level. That's only 5 points down there. If you can stomach that, that's not the worst idea in the world. But to me, you better have an exit strategy on the way in, and I don't think changing it on the fly because market conditions change makes sense. But changing it on the fly because you're not really getting the feels for it. If you meant to swing AMD and give it the 5 points to 99.5, then give it the 5 points because that's the structure of the plan. And then if it breaks back towards the high, if we make a positive move the rest of the week, this is definitely one that's, I would say, obviously twice the downside. It's down twice as much as the market here. So on a rebound, if things can work both ways. But like I said, you should always have that plan before you get into position. That's my 2 cents. If it wasn't meant to be a swing, then usually that just means that you should cover it. ChargePoint's not doing anything, so I know GoGo had a move off the top. Oops. CHPT, of course, is not on the NASDAQ, Neil.
What?
No, it's on I know, right? Like,
yeah. I just want to add something.
It should be on the NASDAQ.
To what you're saying there. And I think that, ultimately, when you're talking about a stock like AMD or anything like that, especially a NASDAQ name, like Microsoft's at 285, right? We're at 300 yesterday or the day before. So it's going to be very hard to hold on to something if you don't have a bias one way or not on the market. I mean, that's the number one thing to say. Like, it's easy for me to say here and say, well, I love AMD long. But if you don't, I mean, I didn't buy any today, so how much do I really love it, right? So it's my expectation is to start buying in the first week of October. So that's next week. So we're gonna wait to see what happens this week. And again, maybe that's too conservative, maybe it isn't, I don't know. But you have to judge what you guys really think. And this is not just to Sterling, it's to anybody. Like, you could have held DATS or GoGo or anything like that. That's fine. Those are different kind of stocks. When you're going to talk about AMD, Apple, Amazon, Softy, Peloton, anything, Ubers, anything that, I mean, maybe not Uber because they got that good news, but, anything that's going to follow the market, if you're bearish on the market, then don't buy right now. I mean, don't worry about where the prices are. I was kicking myself, remember, just a couple days ago, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I sold Microsoft at I wasn't kicking myself, but we're like, oh wow, we sold Microsoft at 296, and I think it was, I don't know if it was before I went on vacation. I don't know when it was exactly, to be honest with you. But anyways, around here, 296, we went back up to 300, and it was like, oh man, giving up that $4. But then today happened, right? And we were expecting a sell-off. It just didn't happen until today. So again, that's how you sort of got to play these names. You got to play them based on what you think of the market and your opinion on where we're going from here. So on that note, we just got into more GoGo. So, we've planned out the GoGo trade. It's going to be $17.50 or bust. Other than that, we're now in it. We've got a better price, obviously. Our price is right here at $17.19 as we've averaged in. So now let's see where GoGo goes. And it looks like Apple may take us out, and that's fine if it does, man. 143 is our spot. We can risk this 45 cents. Looks like it's starting to move to the upside here as the market trying to battle. And normally, as you guys know, I'm a whole big time bull, just not right now in the market. So watch out for Apple taking out 143. We're going to be gone if that happens. And
like I said, cautiously, CCL rolls into negative territory. So on the session, so I got out, got that trailing stop. Look, it'll be a winning trade, so we'll be happy about it. This is the thing with bottom picks. Just because you think the market, you think it can be that monster winner, right? Like you get a low like this, and you're like, I've snagged the bottom. It's so easy to just be like, it has to come back. It's been relatively strong. The market's down 2%, CCL's flat. It's going to go to 27. You can't think that way, right? Like the market doesn't care that you happen to snag the bottom wick on a stock. It's going to go where it's going to go, and you're seeing the pullback in. And I hope that people, I mean, if you're looking at CEI, like this is kind of the same thing. Like CEI, that was a ridiculous move back in. I know Sean had some fantastic trades on CEI, but you think about the fact that it came all the way back to 330. Like if you had this trade from the morning or you bought this dip here and you're holding out for this to break the high of the day, it almost feels crazy to me. And that's the biggest volume spike that it just put in, falling off at 330. It's trying to take out that 3 even. It'd be hard. Remember, 3 even is a decent level on this thing, right? Like this is not an insignificant level at $3 if I go to the 15-minute chart for you guys, right? Like we came in today, that 3, holding it in the pre-market and then breaking out from 3. So to get back below 3 even, which I know candidly, I was shorting that price and it didn't work out for me. But if it gets back below that 3, the stock could start pulling back in. It's been so ridiculously strong. You got to make sure you're taking your profit where you get a chance. As I say all of that, I am still holding on to Neo and Oxy, so we'll see how that goes. I do have one short. ChargePoint, I wish it was doing some of what, like GoGo is giving you some of these moves back in. And that's what I'm not seeing out of ChargePoint, right? Like it's come back, it tested that high, it's come back, you think it would fall off a cliff at that point, but it's right back to the same consolidation that I shorted before. We're running out of time. If this doesn't move, there we go. It's actually starting to break the quarter. So I was about to say, if it doesn't go in the next 10 minutes, I would just lighten the position, not get flat, but lighten the position around flat because it wasn't going. But this is what we're starting to see. The market's starting to roll over. See how big CCL came back in. My Oxy just pulled back like 30 cents on me. And ChargePoint starting to move in the money for me. My Neo just pulled in 50 cents. I should be trimming some of that as well. If I can get some out in the 35 to 40 range in Neo, the way this is pulling back in, I'm going to have to. And I think that Apple trade is probably going to be a lot better than you think, Sean. This market does not look like it wants to hold up.
Hey man, you're more than welcome to join me. I don't want you to though. I don't want to compound any problems, but we are short. We just took a little piece out when it came back to 50 there for the dime or for 7 cents, which is ridiculous. But we do want to wait to see if it does fall now. Yeah, no other worries here at all until we come to the downside. Some of our targets right now on Apple. I mean, I'd like to see this break 141.70 now. But yeah, we do have Apple back on board right here. I hate I mean, I try to get rid of this right here, but I can't right now. But yeah, anything down here, 142, 142. 20, something like that. Now we're in the money now, 13, 15 pennies or so on this trade. So I like it. I'm happy with it, but we are looking for more on Apple. Obviously, I'm not going to hold 45 cents against me and then just start piecing it out for 20-cent winners. But we'll wait to see. I'll still take some out. Nothing wrong with that. GoGo still trying to make some moves, man. We have 1750 in our sights. I just hope I don't miss it, but that's going to be my trade for GoGo. And here goes Apple. Let's go. The idea maybe now is in. So we'll take out some if we can get some now, as Apple just hit down to 32 there or something like that. So Apple right there makes us a winner. So let's get some out. There it is. Yes, sir. So right now, watch out for your monitors as we're punching this out on Apple right now, 30 cents in the money. So this now risk reward is starting to make a little bit of sense as Apple's starting to head to the downside. So let's just hope this move continues, guys.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we're getting that, like we said, the market's starting to show some signs of rolling over. And if we end on these lows, obviously not a great thing potentially for the rest of the week. You wanted to see it bounce. We've seen it. Just take our word for it, because we've seen lots of days like this over our years of trading, and a lot of times you will get that push back up in the afternoon, especially late in the afternoon. Some shorts that have been riding the train all day long are going to look to unwind. And I don't know, like if you're I always put yourself in like Arun, like somebody who would hold like a futures position or something all day long when it hasn't given them any reason to be wrong. Like if you've been short the market today, at what point did you feel like you should be getting out of it? And I'm not sure that's even happened just yet. So if we end on those lows, it's not a great sign. Had we broken back up above like this 14.9 area, then you might have actually seen some covering. Now, it's fantastic for the rollover short here in ChargePoint, but I actually think I let CCL get too far away from me. I did not get DATs, which is kind of, it's just, again, you should always have an out. And I sort of said this, that I liked $15 for DATs and outlined the reasons why. There's no price history on this when you look at the daily chart. Like, it just came to market recently, so there weren't any levels to work off of. So I was just throwing 15 out there because it was 20% from the 1250 break, and it's a round number. It's going to end up turning at 1450, and maybe the market had something to do with it, but there's no need to force trades. Like, I already have 3 on. We're halfway towards the end of power hour here, and I might have missed my shot at DATs. That's absolutely fine. Hopefully ChargePoint can make up for it. But you don't have to force the action, right? Like, even if I had no trades on, let's just say, like if I had no positions on and I didn't get 15s or close to 15s to short DATs, well, I still wouldn't have taken the trade. Like, just because it's moving, volume is good, and it's exciting, it doesn't mean that you got to do it there, guys. Jude Fernando, don't jinx your own short. What did I jinx? Did I jinx my own short?
I don't know, maybe he's talking about me. I don't know what we're talking about there.
I don't think I jinxed it.
You're such a Buddha. Okay.
Buddha.
Yeah, Trader TV Live making history here again. And again, and again, and again. Yeah, we're not stopping. We're always going to be coming back for you guys every single day. So as long as the market's open, we promise to be here. So yeah.
With bells on.
With bells on. Sometimes with bells on, sometimes with...
Maybe Randy can wear bells. He rings a bell. He can wear a bell.
He wears a bell. He walks around with a bell on, Randy does.
He walks around with...
We always need to know where he is.
You should have a Trader TV mug, Randy, just so you know.
Sure. Yeah, Randy, get out of here, Randy.
What's the point of having...
Yeah. You could get some of our merch up. Maybe Valeria can drop our merch thing in there. What is it called? The link there from YouTube merchandise. Okay, so now we're short 71. So we're starting to get some more out here on this play. And yeah, it looks like our... It's funny because you said you don't have to trade something just because it's moving. Well, I kind of feel like I do sometimes. And we do this on GoGo right now as it does take out that level. If anything, man, that should have been a long, I guess, when we took out this level up here. But we like the short here going into the day. Now I can find it if my charts, there we go. So that right there, that take right there at 17.22. You could have waited to go long and then you'd be 20 cents in the money as well. So either way, man, I bet you this does test. Not I bet you. I mean, it looks like it's going to test right now, 17.50. So that's where we're going to get out at. A little bit higher than that and we'll bust out of this trade. So if that comes through, that comes through. But right now, that's what we're looking at. As Apple right now still continues to tank city a little bit here. We'll blow that up on our 1 minute chart, which is looking like pretty good. I fixed it. So here we go, Apple. Couple averages in there, took out, put on the real position up here as we got closer to VWAP, which is why we have a better price. So right now we're just emptying some of this out. You're gonna have to believe me when I tell you this is a profitable trade for me, or else I wouldn't be doing this. But let's get to the downside now on Apple, and it looks like we are gonna get busted here on GoGo. Congratulations, anybody still long this name. Not a huge position for me, but we definitely take a hit on this as GoGo still making moves to the upside. GoGo Inc. Looking like it wants to take out levels even now. So good trade there. Bad for me, but good for everybody else. Congrats on GoGo. My main focus is still going to remain on Apple.
Yeah, exactly. And this is just so you guys know, on days like today, where you do have 2.6% on the NASDAQ down, ES trailing about 1.8. This is one where we'll care about the imbalances. You never know. There could be some different size or outsized or larger than normal imbalances when you do have market action like this. So I will celebrate a little bit. We'll go with the fist bump there because ChargePoint does give that first level. I've had these bids in for a while in the teens, and I got one sort of sitting right off of this level here at 21.10 or so. And then I want to hold the rest to see if we can't get down to VWAP. And this is time-based. Like maybe it's going to flush more than this, right? Like you look at the chart, and it's not a great looking chart. You go to the 15-minute as well, and you ask yourself, well, why couldn't it get down to like 2060 or 2080? Yeah, well, there's only 25 minutes to go, or sorry, 28 minutes to go until the market is closed, and we have to be flat at the end of the day. So I'd rather bank the profit instead of holding for the home run trade. With that said, I do have to start thinking about trimming NEO. Gets back into the 30s, I'll take a little bit off. We are running out of time, and the market looks like it's slid a little bit back. I don't want to get burned on these longs and give it all up.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing here with GoGo. We did go long a little bit there, and it stopped at 75. So just watching to see if that does anything. But we do have that loss there on GoGo, but we're still watching this to see what it does. It did stop there at 75. You could see GoGo there basically on the knot. So okay, we'll see if it takes that out one more time and then goes to the upside there. GoGo, nice trade for you guys. Congratulations on GoGo there. Puts another red stock on the board. So we have 2 red stocks, 3 red stocks on the board, Peloton, AMD, and GoGo today. So we tried to chase that AMD, and thank God we were able to get out of the way on, where's my AMD trade? There it is here. Yeah, wow. It's funny because early on, man, we hit this real early and it was bouncing around and we took out 50 cents on the 107 long. And then look, like we were able to make money. And then eventually, this was our big loss rate. I mean, not big loss, but when it didn't hold 105, we got out of there. Then we retested it at 104 with no dice. And now you can see AMD dripping downside now. So be very, very careful. We talked about that with Sterling already. You know, we have another negative day tomorrow. AMD cracks 100, right? So that's something to watch out for sure on the downside. Apple continues to print us some cash right now. So as far as that idea goes, to the moon? No. There we go. I thought I hit the wrong button there. That seems to be a good idea for us on the Apple make move to the bottom side there. So yeah, good one there. We had some outs. I don't know if they got filled, did they? No. Where's my bid? 27s we bid, and it goes down to 30. So we miss it by a little bit. Now you're starting to take off on the upside here for Apple. So. And again, right where we were, we should have took some more out in the 30s. Let's put some more bids there. I mean, we're short 75, right? Out of the 30s would be a nice 20 cent, 30 cent, 40 cent win. So let's take that out if we can get it. But right now, Apple on my mind still.
Apple on the mind. Why not? I got lots of things on my mind. One of them, of course, is at least going to be CEI. And I know it's barcoding here, but keep in mind how big that drop was off of 330. So you sort of see this is 3 times. On that initial flush, stops at 305, tries to get back up to 15, stops at 305, tries to get back up, gets to 1011, stops at 305. I think there's a chance we could get a 305 break here, and there's going to be a lot of day traders sort of hammering that kind of thing, so it'll stall every 5, 10, 15 cents with lots of shares coming in on the move, but it looks like there's a bit of a break that could happen on CEI. If it holds this level, 305, decent shot, especially if it holds even after 4 o'clock. Decent shot, it could make another a run here. This is one that'll probably have liquidity in the aftermarket, but this is obviously a buyer that is stepping in at 305 over and over again. And I said, you know, that I was just sitting there letting Occidental profits get away from me, and this is kind of dumb. This one was deep in the money, and I should have trailed it at 30 1/4. I did not. It's all the way back to 30. Now I'm trailing it to 30. I know I have 29 3/4 long, but at the same time, giving this up and giving away an extra like 20 or 30 cents on this trade makes absolutely no sense. Not in a market like this, not when we're coming back in. So there we are. We're going to trail out of Occidental when it breaks that 30 level. Time of day where I'm starting to think flat. ChargePoint, that's working fine. Neo, I don't mind holding, so one long, one short that I'm trying to hold a little bit deeper into the close, both of which I will have to watch out for those imbalances that'll drop at 350.
We do have an interview coming up very, very shortly, so we're excited for that as well. But GoGo, just to give you guys an idea here, we just keep on stopping at 70. So no idea what's going to happen now with this name, but we're going to try to get out at 70 if we're lucky enough to do that. And we're going to hold our Apple shares, our Apple short, sorry. We just got out in the mid 40s. Hopefully when we get back to you, I mean, it depends on your positions, but hopefully for my sake, Apple's back down near 142 would be pretty nice. But without any further ado, Brendan at the big desk.
All right, thanks so much, guys. Revitalist Wellness is a lifestyle and wellness company that we're going to talk to. The CEO, Catherine Walker, is joining us this afternoon to give us a little bit of an introduction to the company, looking to improve individuals' well-being through future-centric treatments provided by medical professionals. And it's a very, very interesting story, Catherine. Great to have you on the show. Welcome, first of all. It's an interesting approach to this space in the sense that this is a very team-oriented idea. And as we said, all medical professionals providing these treatments. So first of all, it's great to have you. Welcome. And tell us a little bit about the story here.
Sure. Thanks for having me on. So a little bit about the story with Revitalist. We have expert medical providers and mental health providers that are coming to the surface right now to really hammer out and have real-time solutions to a big global issue. So this includes, I think, everything that all of us are feeling right now with the mental health crisis, with the opioid crisis and such, even all the COVID aspects. We are really working with solution-based infusions and therapies to where people can come to us and they actually can have some type of real-time effects to where we're helping them to get better more quickly instead of feeling like they're just getting into the system and they have to stay in the system. So real time, very effective, cost savings. Insurance companies are going to love us because we're actually helping to break the cycle at the front instead of having people to, really take advantage or unfortunately have a disadvantage of feeling sick for 10, 20, 30 years. So that's what we're really taking advantage of here.
So if somebody's coming into the clinic, as we mentioned, a very team-oriented feel to these clinics, tell us a little bit about what is offered then. What can potential patients expect going into these clinics, the wide variety and wide range of treatments that are available, and how that maybe differs from competition in this space.
Yeah, so right now in medicine, so my background's in anesthesia and then also with a special emphasis with psychiatry as well. So what we have is we have specialists where when you come into our clinics, you can say, hey, I have these things going on, treatment resistant aspects, wellness needs, all of those things that all of us are feeling that we know that the system is just not keeping up with the demand. So we offer medication infusions. We have different types of options, non-invasive options, all that are very, very evidence-based and a lot of times are covered by insurance. So this is something that's different. And it's different because we're really helping to upgrade the entire mental health and the medical system across the world. And it's something that's needed.
And an important point here, Catherine, I think that people watching south of the border in the U.S. Will understand urgent cares and be familiar with urgent cares and the lack of treatment available there for people with mental health problems and mental health issues that want to and are seeking help. Talk a little bit on that.
So urgent cares, right, in the United States with urgent cares, the reason those were created is because there was so much of a burden on emergency rooms and emergency departments. They just couldn't keep up with the demand because there wasn't enough supply. And that's kind of what we're doing with these clinics is there's nothing like us in the medical and the mental health world to where we can actually step in and we can help take a lot of that demand off by providing an additional supply. So that's the piece to where it's going to be a huge revenue sense here because it's not created yet what we're doing. And then we're actually having real-time revenue today. Even we have 5 clinics currently open that are producing revenue right now.
Speaking on the revenue aspect here, let's talk a little bit about where that comes from. The company's seen very impressive growth year over year, going back to last year. Tell us a little bit about where the actual revenue is coming from here in the clinic model.
Primarily right now, the revenue is coming from the medication infusions that we do that are specific for treatment-resistant conditions such as PTSD, depression, anxiety, chronic suicidality, all the things that are just really, really hard for medical and mental health providers to address. We actually have specific medication infusions to where we can actually break the cycle of what the brain's doing. So this is super exciting, gives us a lot of hope for the future. So that's probably where about 98% of our revenue is coming from right now. The other aspect is the wellness, which we actually saw a 200% growth from the months of July through August. So that's exciting as well too.
The company recently also announced a telemedicine platform. Who's going to benefit from an application like this, and who is this really aimed at?
So telemedicine in general, how does it work? It's kind of weird. You know, we really like that to see people or to touch, like that's something that's just different in the medical space. A lot of times, like with COVID, telemedicine became helpful because people were able to stay safe in their space and then also talk to someone. But with our telemedicine platform, we want to focus on mental health coaching and conditioning. So they've proven that our brains operate very similarly as our bodies. And we can train our bodies just as much as we can train our brain. And the emotional intelligence, just because we've not really put a lot of emphasis on how important it is, we've kind of lacked with the emotional intelligence as we've actually grown physically. So this is something that, you know, it's almost like a personal trainers for your brain with the telemedicine platform that we have. So having a personal trainer that way will actually help people to seek the care that's needed, because we all need advice. Why not go to a trained professional who knows how to give effective advice to help you to solve the issue that you have in a short amount of time, instead of feeling like it's dragging, because we're an instantaneous society. Let's get to that, the point to where we can actually solve the issue. So that's what we're here to help do.
Much needed approach, I think, given the current state of the world and the current state of this pandemic that continues to go on and on and on. Catherine Walker, CEO of Revitalist. We appreciate your time, guys. Go to revitalist.com for more information. It's CALM, and that's listed here in Toronto on the CSE. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day.
You too. There we go, guys. CALM. There is a CALM, CALM, in the US on the NASDAQ, but this one's listed here in Toronto, as we said, on the CSE, guys.
And a good ticker for this day.
Yeah.
Keep calm and carry on. Like,
keep calm.
We love these tickers, and it's just companies owe it to themselves to get tickers that are as fantastic as that. And in a day like today, of course, down 2.5%. We want to keep a little bit of calm. I was able,
calm. Yep.
While that was all going on, the market did not stop, and ChargePoint did continue its drop. But like I said, even if you think you can go much, much further, I took some profit in front of 21s. It's now down into VWAP here. We have about 15 minutes to go before we have to be flat. So I kind of want to give this one a chance to break down VWAP, get a little bit closer to the support here at 2075. I do note that level is there. So if I see it starting to base out, I'll just manually cover my trade. I don't want this thing back above $21, but this has definitely worked out for me. And I just want to remind everybody, when we came into the show here, the close show, this is a 2140 double top, triple top at 2140. And if you put your stop at that high of day, you got stopped out. If you zoomed out, like we always say, when in doubt, zoom out, then you would have looked back to the 17th and saw on witching day that you had the 2140 break and go to 43. And that's why my stop was a few pennies higher. Sometimes it makes a difference. You know what? It could have gone to 45 and it doesn't make a difference. But I'd rather give up that extra 2 or 3 cents to make sure the historical level actually holds up or is broken. It does not get broken. We get the rollover, the market rolling over a little bit, or at least attempting to, probably did not hurt us one little bit. But ChargePoint finally gives some back. It's still up on the day, one of the stronger stocks that we can find, trying to get off its schneid. The daily chart not looking so great on this name. But hey, got to cover it in the next couple of minutes. I'm watching to get out of it manually. I will put a trail in. If we break 75, I just put a trailing stop in. But I want this thing to go to the downside here. Whoa, GoGo Now it comes back.
Finally. Oh, man. You know what, guys? I don't have a red day on the docket in September yet. So, you know, it doesn't matter. You're not trying to go perfect or anything like that. But today was very, very sketchy for me today. It was a very, very tough day to trade. But we will remain positive no matter what into today. And we're going to hold out now, especially, I mean, GoGo. You know, again, best served cold, man, the dish, because we now hit this to the short side back down there. We did get that tick. So again, blown out there. So we take a little bit, about what was I say, 15 cents there. We averaged in 23, then get blown out at 55, 56. We did take that out at 69. We talked about that. We threw our offer right there. We talked about it. We got out just before we went to the interview, or as we're there. I don't know. I think you guys saw me take that out. And now we're back down to the downside. So hopefully, and again, it's all fingers crossed, of course. Apple will continue its slide to the downside. Looks like that is, of course, happening. So yeah, man, everything right now, all good for me as we continue to make moves here to the downside. GoGo, Apple, ACB, we're rocking and rolling here. I don't know if that was Brendan, but he can go over there if we're ready. Brendan?
Chart doesn't seem to be cooperating. There we go, finally. Just going to mention this while we were talking to Catherine there, guys. This PLAG from this morning kind of went crazy a little bit, all the way up to 165 and then all the way back down again. So big volume here at the close for PLAG.
And as I said, we'll ring this one. I said if we stalled out around 21.75, I would get out of it manually. We started to check up a little bit here on ChargePoint, so that's enough for me. We'll bag the profit. 85's out. So like we said, we'll get about like 60 cents out of it. I still hold the last of my Neo trade. So this might be the final, likely the final position for me for the day. We had multiple longs here, but basically off two premises, long in front of that 35.50 and then long in front of that 35 even. So, you know, not nearly as good a trade as Oxy off the bottom, but we'll take it. If we break back down below this like 35.20 area, I'll probably just get out. I thought we had a chance to get past view up here in NIO, but down 4%. Looks like it's running out of gas, unfortunately. So we'll have to see what goes on with that name. CEI, just to check back in on another name, it breaks that 305, holds 3 even. Remember what we said about those breaks?
Oh, come
Every
on,
5
Apple.
to 10 cents that there were going to be day traders and big order flow jumping in front. That's what happened at 3. It holds 3, key level like we said, and it bounces right back into 325. So CEI remains super, super strong. Holding that 3 level is a key sign, as we were talking about earlier.
Oh, man, hell yeah right now. I mean, Apple, let's go with Apple. What a roller coaster Apple's been today, but yeah, thank you so much, Apple, for the move back to the downside. And you talked about with Arun and having confidence in your positions, and I think that's, you know, really what's hit it out of the park for me here. You know, we believed in this trade, we hit it, and there goes Apple right down there to the downside. So we started the day talking about Apple at 142. Yes, sir. There it is. Another one, man. Yes, great trade for me on Apple. Really happy that this is fading out now. So, wow. I mean, would have loved to hold everything, but we did get some resistance here at 40. So we're going to take Apple to the downside now. We still have 25% of that position. So that's a good one. And yes, sir, as well as GoGo right now, starting to give us a little bit of bangness on this one. Bangness to the downside right there. 36.
Sure that's a word.
I think it's a word, yeah. But now to the downside as well on GoGo. And those of you that remember, okay, we remember bros. I'm going to have a look at this right now. I don't know what it's at. It was at 46 earlier. 43. Last week, Thursday, so it's 3 or 4 days. This was at 55. We called 48 on this name. And I remember in the chat, people were questioning that call, but there it is, 43 and change. There goes bros. Hopefully a lot of people got out of the way on that one. The imbalances are going to come out, man. We're 75 cents in the money on Apple. I'm going to take a piece out now. Hold the rest in case the imbalances are to the sell side, okay? So that's what we'll do. We'll take out a little bit now, hold the rest in case the imbalances are in case they're to the buy side. We want to make sure that we're out. If it's to the sell side, then we'll be all good. But right now, Apple to the downside. Let's see where we go from here. Let's take out 75 cents and hold one piece to see where we go after 350. Brendan, kill him with kindness.
There we go. Now you can hear me. I was saying, let's see if Brad has a hashtag bangness hat on tomorrow, because that sounds like a great idea. ONDS, guys, just wanted to mention here, day highs popping back above some significant levels. Not on purpose, Sean, but that was great.
What was great?
I totally missed that about the ONDS, unfortunately, because the bangness he's talking about.
Oh, the bangness was great.
But I missed that about ONDS because we were talking about the bangness. And
I mean, that's why I'm here. I mean, I'm not, can't be for the good looks. It can't be for the trading. It has to be for the entertainment is what I'm figuring. But there goes.
You know what we forgot to mention?
Sure, go ahead.
There was a lot of, I was about to say a lot of crap coming from Amazon. There was a lot of stuff dropped from Amazon today, and it's worth, I mean, you can go through and look at some of it, but some of these things were robots that will follow you around your house.
I'm down with that.
That don't have a vacuum cleaner built in, which I think would make sense. Anyways, but
I was going to say a comment about my wife, but I love you.
But they're coming at Peloton as well, and if you look at what happened at Peloton during that conference, it actually came all the way back in. Looked like it was going to try to go back above 89, and then flushed. So Peloton's going to be closing on their lows, but Amazon coming at them. And again, competition is going to be a thing. This is going to get interesting if we get back down into, and again, if the market continues to the downside, who knows? But this is the feeling that it feels like in the market, especially closing so close to the lows. And the ES just cracked 2% to the downside again. The NASDAQ is about to go 3% down. So you got to start thinking about these at 79.80. Market flushing. Remember we said that market was turning? The market was turning, and that's what we talked about those shorts.
Yeah, man, it's hot dog firing off time. There goes Apple. See ya. How about $1 winner on Apple now to the downside? How about 50 cents in the money on GoGo to the downside as well, man? Yeah, you stand in front of the trades, and this is what happens to you. Bang! Right there as GoGo to the downside. Big time trades happening right here. Apple to the downside as well. Yes, sir. There we go, man. We talked about this early. We talked about Apple wanting to hold this 142. And I mean, we called this early and we just believed on that call. So there it is, 142. There goes Apple, 80, 90 cents in the money. We will also, I mean, whatever. I'm almost out of it. So we cover it anyway, it doesn't matter. ACB, think about getting out right now. Another big win for us. We've only stepped on ourselves on AMD today. Other than that, we took a couple risks on Peloton right here as well today. Oops, let's zoom this back out. Peloton, we were short. This was part of the Amazon stuff that we were talking about. Turns out that, hey man, if we just held, we'd be in the money. Obviously the NASDAQ now near day's low, if not at day's low. What is the NASDAQ? Yeah, so we're right here, right at the day's low right now on NASDAQ. So nice little bump there off some of those imbalances. Oh yeah, imbalances. Let's go over to them as we go here. Whoa, I just saw a couple million there. Okay, a warrant or a unit not worthy there. There's Apple. The big sell continues on Apple. We're going to get out, man. That was a big sell flush there. So we did get out at 142.05. No, 142 even, sorry. It went down to 141.80. So that's good. Citigroup's a big sell there on the banking side of things, which haven't been great today. You could see Citigroup right there. Oh, actually, it's not too bad. It's Wells Fargo. That's the problem. Microsoft today as well. Wow, 284. Feeling pretty good about my 296 sell as well. But Apple, I'm $10 in the money on that sell, and Microsoft $10 in the money as well. So almost time to buy back in. Not till next week.
I mean, this is what we talked about with the imbalances actually mattering on daily today. Sometimes just the sheer volatility of the day is going to lead to more people seeking liquidity or what they think is the safety of liquidity at the close, and that's why you'll get some selling. I mean, if you waited for it, unfortunately, that's going to be the case. We just got a question in there. Goldman was asking about Airbnb. To me, Airbnb, it's down 3% today, but it barely moved in yesterday. It didn't move as much in yesterday's action. It needs to get like something like this needs to pull back like 10%, right? So there is some names that you think will move more than the market. So you want it to pull back deeper before you get into it. I'll give you another example here because we're only 7 minutes to go. I got a couple people were asking. Someone in the morning was asking about Lemonade, and I was saying, and I'm not being crazy about this, but I want Lemonade to come into the 50s and I'll buy it again. And forget about who cares what your cost base is. Think about where you want to be buying this on support. This stock has already put in from in April. It put in just a couple of just a few weeks. It put in a cut in half. Right? And it's got a high of 115 and almost cut in half again. So if this market is going to continue to the downside, it's exactly the kind of stock that if it breaks support at 65, that you can be holding out and waiting. Now, candidly, I'm already in the stock and have done well on it, so I can afford to be patient. If you were starting a position in something like this, yes, you might buy in front of that support level, and then you might go lower. But if you're looking to add to it or you want to be very, very patient, there is nothing wrong with that. If you believe the market is in a pullback or a potential correction, then it's names like these which you think are going to fall a little bit further than most. And Lemonade's barely moved the last couple of days, in my opinion. Only 6% down, and it didn't really do much of anything in yesterday's action. If this market continues to crack, you can't think something like this is going to hold up.
All right. I'm just looking at, we got an invite for the coffee thing from NASDAQ. So I just saw that. That just,
That was today.
but it's it's October 5th, but it's at 10 o'clock in the morning.
That was another one.
Yeah, we got, shout out to our friends at NASDAQ there. They sent a, what was it, Mueller drip coffee thing. So Rob was making it for us the other day, but they're doing an online coffee tasting thing that I just got, or I guess we did. I don't know, it was in my email, probably to you as well. Invited there for that, but we're going to be on the show. Coffee tasting, always exciting. And
Although that coffee was really tasty, they sent.
that was the Colombian, I believe.
We had the Colombian.
Yeah, you gotta get that Colombian good there. Okay.
Well,
GoGo.
not that good.
Yeah, it's not as good as. Anyways, it's great coffee. Okay. Right now, there. See, what's
There's
up?
nothing hiding in those
What up,
coffee
Lucas?
grounds.
Yeah. There's nothing hiding in there. I believe it is coffee grounds. So okay, GoGo there. Yeah, feeling pretty good about this trade. Blown out there. There we go. Okay.
I'd already hit it.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, felt it down to the good side there on GoGo. Good there. Downside on GoGo, we did clear that up at 17. So our out was at 99 actually. We got that out. So just back in here. Thought that we may have stopped. It did take down to 90s or 86s there. That was good enough for me. Apple still trying to make moves to the downside. I don't know if we'll close on the highs, or sorry, on the lows or not, but the low of Apple today, right here, man, 141.68. So we called that early this morning. It looks like it's coming through. I hate it because, hey, man, I'm overloaded right now. I'm in like 5 or 10% cash. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm still getting crushed with everybody else on my longer term portfolio. But, we did get out of DraftKings, Donkey Kong, and a few other names a while ago, which I hope that you saw that. And then Palantir hit our target of 29. So needless to say, Brendan at the big desk.
Here is another one looking like it might want to close on the lows, guys. Micron in a hurry coming down to day lows here, 2.5%. Also, the only notable earnings report for Aftermarket tonight.
But there was fake Palantir reporting as well. What was the name of that company again? It was
Fake Palantir, I think it was called.
I'm not making. It's like it's just similar. It sounds similar to Palantir. That's why I'm calling it fake Palantir. Apologies to whatever the company is. But Micron, not really apologizing. But Micron, they, like I said, they report they're only down 2.5%. I want to see if they can hold the 69 level. That's the only thing I'll be concerned with looking at. I think that'll be more of a bellwether for the rest of the chip makers, guys. And remember we talked about this overall. This is what the market's going to be doing here, closing right on those lows. So this is the NASDAQ. And it was at that 148.50 mark, and we're sort of saying, if we're going to pull back here, the market's looking like it's stalling out, and it's not going to get off those highs. And it's like we said about the shorts. If they don't have a reason to get out, are they going to get out? And they never got that reason. It never broke that 14.9 level. And that's, you can see this little bit of flush. So we are closing essentially on the your points off the lows of the day, but you're essentially closing on the low of the day, which does matter, especially psychologically. And then I just want to come here, Vivek, how did I bottom tick those covers on NEO? I didn't bottom tick covers on NEO. I can show you the new trades here. None of these are bottom. This is not a bottom pick on NEO. NEO flushed through 35, right? Gave a failed break, and I can zoom in and even show it to you guys. Oh, I can't zoom in there. But it gave a failed break, got to 92, and then held a level. So I like to see sometimes if you get the wipeout bottom capitulation and got back in when it retook 35. Then when it retested the same levels, I'm like, okay, let's try the same thing again. And it couldn't even go more than 3 or 4 cents. But each of these are a few pennies above that low of the day. I like that entry point because, look, it's going to look really good when you enter like that. If this retakes the low, it doesn't look fantastic at all. It just so happens that was a wipeout bottom, but neither one of those are low ticks. It's just when you zoom out. I guess it looks really impressive when you zoom out, but I'll zoom in and show you guys each time. It broke to 35, didn't go very much far down, got the retake when it retook that level, so it just looks pretty clean at that 35 even.
Okay, yeah, so Palantir Technologies, no, that can't be the right.
No, it's not.
That's not the right symbol, guys. Okay, but we were going to talk about it's not PTN. No, because that's doing no volume and it's 40 cents. So I don't know if that's the symbol or not, but I don't know if Brendan got it, but he didn't. So we'll leave it at that. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, it's Palantir, P-A-L-A-T-I-N, I guess, that is reporting. So we don't mean to, if anybody holds that, I just don't know anything about it. So we will wait on that one. Amazing to see Alibaba. Oh, let's check out the imbalances quickly here as they're still going here. I don't know, it was on our board. I mean, maybe it is the right symbol.
It's a penny stock. Yeah.
Okay. doing no volume, I don't think either. So, okay, that's on our earnings board. Okay, Morgan Stanley's still a sell today. Yeah, I mean, Morgan Stanley's doing great anyways. It's above $100. So that's a nice little move for Morgan Stanley. But today, though, down that 3. So you're going to see that's getting killed here a little bit into the close with only 40 seconds, 50 seconds left. Morgan Stanley probably pairs off, but there's Johnson Controls. C is there, Citigroup. Apple was there. They're all starting to pair off now, so this is the problem as we go. Let's watch Apple. I'm still short Apple. I'm actually not going to get out of Apple until the market's closed.
Giovanni, you have to get the imbalance feed to be able to, thank you for the super chat, but you have to get the imbalance feed to look it up. Upstart's on the NASDAQ, so imbalances are
I
out at
believe
358.
E-Signal, yeah, I think E-Signal you can pay for them, but yeah, you're gonna have to pay market data for that, which can be pretty expensive, but we do that anyways for everybody, so that is the imbalances.
And Randy is on the bell, as you guys obviously already saw there. So Trader TV, Randy's locked and loaded, ready to go. He's going to smash the living crap out of this bell in 3, 2, and 1, like Vlad. And he broke it. There you go.
I don't know if that was like Vlad.
And he broke the mallet. There, I mean, I think we only have that one mallet, so I mean, whatever.
I mean, it's just coming out of his paycheck at the end of the day here, so. Okay, look, it was a great day. I'm going to ask Brendan if we were positive or not, but that's kind of a rhetorical question at this point. Let's just ask, how bad was it, Brendan?
It was notably bad, guys. Here we go. Lots of 2s to start things off here. Yeah, negative 2s to the downside here for the S&P. 1.6 for the Dow, winning the day, by the way. 2.8 here. NASDAQ, 2.6 for Brazil, 2.6 for Ethereum. You see the trend continuing, guys. Yeah, it was ugly, but could be always worse, right?
I mean, do we get a turnaround? What day is it today? Tuesday? Monday? What day is it?
Today's Tuesday.
So normally you call it
Wednesday?
turnaround Tuesday. I was going to say turnaround Thursday, and then I realized that it's not Wednesday. So we'll see if it's Whiplash Wednesday.
Whiplash Wednesday? Yeah, that'll work.
I don't know. We'll see if we can turn it
You
around.
can say Wonderful Wednesday. We had Mr. Wonderful today.
Yeah, we had Mr. Wonderful today. We did get out of our Apple there, 142.08. There. So we did get out of that one. Good cover there to end the show. But thank you so much for watching. I think it was a fun day. Hopefully we helped you guys navigate through the market a little bit. We do have a couple red names, but again, if you're stuck with us, hopefully we can manage some of this downside together and also have some nice shorts on board. So get ready to rock and roll. I want to give a big thank you to Lucas, to Robbie, to Randy as well today, always helping out. And thank you to all the viewers. Thank you to Brendan for sure, bringing the news. I mean, on an important day like today, not only the news, but how about crushing the interviews over and over and over again.
Fantastic
so thank you so much to Brendan. And then a big shout out to the Memes and Movers crew. There she is. Yeah, that makes sense. That's that's about right.
Yeah.
That's about right for them.
That's how their day goes.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Because it's nap time.
Yeah. Prad's got to get home, have that nap, because apparently there's some video game that he's really excited to play.
An Amazon
New
game.
World, I believe. And I actually looked at the ad and sent it to my 9-year-old there. And then hopefully he'll see if he likes that game or not. But
Micron bad.
Yeah,
It's
Micron
not,
bad.
we'll look at it's not good.
Yeah. So watch out there. That's not going to be good for tomorrow. But Micron's been in a tailspin a little bit anyways. There it is. There's Micron down 7%. What is that tick, Neil? 60?
That's a 68 tick
68.
here.
68 print right now.
And
so
holding down here.
Yuck. Watch me on Canberra right now because it's going to be your trade of the day. We'll catch everyone tomorrow. Sleep well. Tomorrow should be another one.
Bye-bye.